Hey everyone, my name is Danilo Petrovic.
I'm Ilya Marchenko.
I'm Denis Kudla.
I'm Evgeny Donskoy.
I'm Henry Laaksonen.
I'm Peter Torebko, and you're listening to the Game to Love podcast.
Hey, welcome back, tennis fans. This one, we're having to do a little bit earlier. No JG for this draw preview, unfortunately. We're doing Stockholm, we're doing Linz. Both of the events actually start today. It is Sunday. Normally, we're used to doing these on Sunday night. Unfortunately, we're going to have to do this one Sunday afternoon because they will kick off the first round proper in, I think it's 3 o'clock UK time for Stockholm. For Linz, I think it's even earlier. I think it's 1 o'clock. So make sure enter your brackets in as soon as possible and don't miss out. So I'm going to try and take you through everything on these draws as best I can. We've got some people in the live chat. We've got Matthew in there saying good morning from Canada. Oh, good morning. And we've got Shelley in there saying 9 for Paris. I'm not sure what this means, but we've got obviously the big one coming up later on. That is Novak Djokovic versus Daniel Medvedev. We will be covering that one, so make sure you join us for that too. Let's start in Stockholm. I'm going to try and run through these as quick as possible. My throat is not feeling too great. I'm not going to lie to you. So Stockholm, Sweden. This is a 250 event. Last won by Denis Shapovalov. That was back in 2019. 2021 was cancelled because of COVID. And he beat Filip Krajinovic in the final. Where other past winners of the event, you can see there Tsitsipas win in 2018. Also, Juan Martin del Potro, he's won it twice, 2 years on the bounce, 16 and 17. And Thomas Berdych there has won it 3 times. He was the last person in 2015. Got Dimitrov back there, 2013. Some good names. And Roger Federer, 2010. Gael Monfils. Also got David Nalbandian back there. Marcos Baghdatis. So, yeah, a lot of big players have won this tournament. And I think this one's going to be quite an exciting one to go through. I'll let you know on who the qualification players are. They're playing at the moment their final round. Probably the ones to note, I would say, in this one. We've got Istomin. He's up against Kovalik. He's a setup at the moment. And we've got Vavasori versus Serdarusik. And Serdarusik up a set. Vavasori up a break in the second. And then we've got Durovsik. No, am I saying that? Durasovic. And then we've got Gerasimov versus Kotov, so you would expect Gerasimov to go through that one as well. We've got JG in the live chat. No worries, buddy. It's all good. I will try and get through this one together. Always remember, just send in your live chat comments as we're going through any players that you like the look of or any potential upsets. But I'll go through the draw next. Right, let's just get straight into my picks. 1 second, I'll bring the draw up. Here we go. And as you can see, Jannik Sinner is the number 1 seed. And he'll have a potential matchup with, I think I'm going to go for it straight away, Andy Murray. So Andy Murray, Jannik Sinner, second round matchup. Got Almino in the chat. How are you doing? One of our patrons. And also Liam there, saying another one of our patrons joining the live chat. Good to have you in, guys. We've got the next matchup, which I'm sure some people are probably annoyed about. Leo Borg is a wild card into the event. And I don't know if any of you guys have seen some of the form of Leo Borg. But for a guy 2,139th in the world, it's pretty crazy. He's lost his last 8 matches and only won 1 set. So I'm not really sure. Does he warrant a wild card? Let me know in the live chat. And Matthew going 6 love, probably. Yeah, I tend to agree with you. If he gets a game, I'll be very, very surprised. Tommy Paul should handily knock him out. I think we need people complaining Andy Murray's getting wild cards into events. What's going on in this one? Right, Taylor Fritz versus a qualifier. Fritz has been on fire recently. He goes through for my liking. Next up, we've got Yannick Sinner, Andy Murray. I'm probably going to go Yannick Sinner. I think he's been in really good form. I know that he obviously, in the race for Turin, I think it's pretty much sealed up now. Unless someone drops out, I'm guessing Sinner will just have to deal with being an alternate there now, because Casper Ruud and Hubi Hurkacz have sealed up the last two places on that ATP race. So and Sinner just missing out there, unfortunately for him. Even if he wins the event, he's still 30 points behind Casper Ruud. So I'm going to be going Taylor Fritz to defeat Tommy Paul. I think Fritz has looked better recently. And now we'll move down to the next section. We've got Liam saying Sinner pastes him. Let's be honest. Well, exactly. I'm not sure, but I think the way Sinner's playing, I think he's going to be a little bit pissed off, and he may want to just wipe the court with a Grand Slam legend. Well, excuse me, RS saying he's one of the players who played the most tournaments, Almino. Okay, so let's move on down. We've got Daniel Evans. He is up against potentially Davidovich Fokina or Mackenzie McDonald. And I've been picking Mackie for a lot of my brackets recently, and he's been letting me down. There's part of me that thinks I'm going to go for Fokina in this one. I don't know. I'm just going to go against Mackie just because he's let me down. I think Fokina's lost his last two. Mackie's lost his last two. It's a pick 'em for me. Moving down to the next one, we've got Pedro Martinez versus Rusavori. I'll be backing our lad Emil. Rusavori to go through there for me. And then we've got Francis TFO, Elias Ema. I'm going to go TFO. Come on. We want to see that Francis button out, don't we? Next round, I'm going to have Evans to beat Fokina. Do I have TFO to beat Rusavori? Go on, I'll go for it. I'll have TFO to beat Rusavori. That's a little bit of a punt. Let me just double check, because I did actually enter. I'm worried about missing these brackets, so I actually did go through my bracket and enter some out. So I don't want anyone to call me out and say, "Oh, on your bracket you didn't put that." So let me have a look in the round of. Yeah, I did pick CFO. Okay, great. So moving down, we've got Bublic versus Rinderneck. That one should be an entertaining matchup. I bet if JG was here, he'd probably be picking Rinderneck. But I'm going to be going Bublic. And then I'm going to be going Giovcic to beat Giron. The next one is a qualifier versus a qualifier. So no idea on this one. And then Denis Shapovalov has a bye. So I'm going to be putting Shapo through anyway, whichever qualifier goes through. You'll probably have about an hour to select that one when all the matches finish. Yeah, exactly. I mean, saying the women's end soon in 45 minutes. Yeah, I should have probably done that one first, shouldn't I? Don't worry, I'm going to race through this anyway, Almino. Just make sure to go through the women's one with me, and you'll have it all in time. I'm going to have Bublic to knock out Giovcic, and then we'll move on down. We got the last section. Fuchsovich versus Mannarino. I'm actually going to have Mannarino to beat Fuchsovich. Mannarino's been in good form of late, beating some good players. Botic van der Zandschulp. Yeah, come on. I think he's going to beat Jordan Thompson here. He's been also in good form. Krajinovic and Tobias Bain. I'll go Krajinovic. I'm going to be going van der Zandschulp to knock out Mannarino, and then Felix to knock out Krajinovic. So we'll move back to the top again. And I believe this is our quarterfinal. Fritz versus Sinner. I think Fritz might be a bit tired by now. I'm going to have Sinner knocking him out. Evans, TFO. I think TFO, I think he's had his day in the sun, as JG would say. I'm going to take Dan Evans to knock out TFO in this one. Bublic, Shapo. I'm actually going Bublic to knock out Shapo here. And van der Zandschulp versus Felix. And we're going van der Zandschulp to knock out Felix Auger-Aliassime. Moving to our semi-finals now. Dan Evans versus Yannick Sinner. I think Sinner's going to want to finish this year on a high. I think he knocks out Dan Evans here. And then Bublic versus Van der Zandstrup. It's a real tough one for me, but I think I'm going to go in Bublic on this one. And then we get to my final, which is Sinner versus Bublic. And who am I going to have? I'm going to have Yannick Sinner winning the whole thing. Yeah, Almina saying I'm going to have Botic in the final. Go big or go home. Yep. Well, RSN, I wish Mannarino will win the whole thing. Wow. Okay. Moving away from that one then. That's my selections for Stockholm. It's a time to go over to Linz. Make sure you get those ones locked in. And we will now go over to the women's draw. Obviously, this one most recently famous for Coco Gauff winning her first ever WTA event. And that was in Linz. I'm just going to have to bring up all of my other bits and bobs. Let's see some of the past winners just quickly. Ooh, where is it? It's going to say Stockholm to start. Don't worry. I'll switch it up in 2 ticks. 1 second. Here we go. Right, on to Linz. So we have a look at the past winner, and it was on last year, Aryna Sabalenka, on that massive run of form that she had. She absolutely blitzed everybody at the back end of last year, winning, I think, 5 hardcourt titles. Coco Gauff back there in 2019, grabbing her first ever one. And we got Camila Giorgi there back in 2018. And yeah, there's a name we don't see very often anymore, Dominika Sibolkova. And Pavlyuchenkova back in 2015 winning it as well. So we've got some big names who have been past winners. Kerber, Azarenka, Kvitova, Anna Ivanovic, a 2-time winner here. So both of these events that are going on are pretty prestigious, I'd say. Right, I'm going to have to get the actual draw up now. Bear with me. 1 second. This is the bit where JG's talking. Right, okay, so we'll zoom in on this one. And with our number 1 seed on this one, I'll go through the qualifiers, just 2 ticks. The number 1 seed on this one is Emma Raducanu, which I'm sure you could have told by the thumbnail. Right, okay, so this is it. And I will just now take you through who the qualifiers for the tournament are. They're playing at the moment. We got Christian. She looks like she's about to go out to Serenko. So Serenko looks like she's going to. We got Tan versus Kucheva. We got Anna Bogdan Kozlova. And we got Xin Wang versus Leonie Kung. So there's some good ones in there. Let's see how those ones all play out. All right, let's get into the draw proper. Right. Emma Raducanu. She's up first, but she gets a bye through the first round. Lucky her. She doesn't even have to play. And this one, I'm guessing there's going to be qualifiers here. It doesn't show anything in the draw yet. Maybe have a check on it. I'm not sure if there's going to be an overlap. There may be an overlap on this one. So we're just going to have to take it as it comes. So Emma's going to be going through, obviously. I'm going to go Elise Cornet to beat the wild card, Julia Grabner. We got Bartel versus Risk. I'm going to be going Risk. Whoever it is, I'm going to have Emma Raducanu beating them. And I'm going to have Elise Cornet meeting Emma in that 3rd round. Yeah, exactly. I think this bracket is a bit funky. Some players missing last time I checked. Yeah, I think so too. So just bear with it. This one, not one of the biggest tournaments. So we're just going to have to just go through and just hope we pick right. Danielle Collins gets a bye through the first round. We got Ocean Dodin versus Greet Minnen. I'm going to go Greet Minnen because she's been in good form in the last couple of weeks. Alison van Oudvank, I'm going to have to beat another wild card in Sinja Kraus. And then Alexandrova to go through at the bottom. I'm going to have Danielle Collins to beat Minnen and Alexandrova to knock out Oudvank. Moving down, Sorana Cirstea. I'm going to have her beating Kamila Rakimova. I'll have Peterson, who's beating maybe a qualifier. Peterson's been good lately, though, so don't mind that pick. And then I'll have Kalinina knocking out Trevisan. Kudamatova gets the bye. And then we've got Cirstea, Peterson. Let's see how I picked that one, because I did actually go through these, and I went Peterson to knock out Stayer here. And then we've got Kalinina versus Kudamatova. I'm going to go Kudamatova. Moving down, we've got Paolini versus Yastrolemska. I think they played just recently as well, these two. And I think Paolini got the better of her, so I'm going to go Paolini again. I'm going to have Clara Burel, the youngster from France, knocking out Sai Zheng. I'm going to have Sasnovich knocking out Fiona Ferro. And then at the bottom, the number 2 seed, Simona Halep. She gets a bye through the first round and sets up another matchup that we saw at Indian Wells, which was Sasnovich, Simona Halep. We've got Paolini, Clara Burel as well in there. Oh, sorry. So I should pick my next bit. I'm going to be going... let me check. I have actually filled these out, so I just want to be safe. I'm going to go Clara Burel. And I'm actually going to go Sasnovich to knock out Halep. This may surprise some people. I think Sasnovich is becoming more of a force on the women's tour. And even though Halep got to the final of the last event, I wasn't really that impressed with her in the final. I think Kontaveit absolutely demolished her in that final. I think she could be still licking her wounds. So we move to the top. And we'll go to the next round. And this one will be the quarterfinals. We got Raducanu versus Elise Cornet. I'm going to have Raducanu knocking out Elise Cornet here. And then we have Danielle Collins, Alexandrova. I'm going to have Danielle Collins to meet Emma Raducanu here to go into the semi-final. Then we got the other quarterfinal. Peterson versus Kudamatova. I'm going to have Kudamatova to beat Peterson here. And then Sasnovich versus Burel. I'm going to have Sasnovich to go through again. And Almino not happy with that, saying boo. Not liking me putting out Halep early. Well, you can only do what your gut tells you to do. Semi-final, Raducanu versus Collins on this one. I'm actually going to be going Danielle Collins to knock out. That was the match I think we were supposed to see at the US Open. And Collins dropped out. I'm going to have her beating Raducanu here in the semi-finals. And going down to the other one, we've got Kudamatova versus Sasnovich. And I have got Sasnovich to knock out Kudamatova. And then we go Danielle Collins and Alexandra Sasnovich in the final. So it should be good. I'm going to say my gut says you're wrong. Right, so I'm the final. I'm going to have Danielle Collins winning the whole thing. I think that she's a very, very accomplished hard court player. Really enjoy watching her on the hard courts, and I think being the number 3 seed, I think she's going to have a decent run through to the final. I think she can get past Emma if she has to. I think she can, and yeah, Collins to win. And Matthew saying I have Collins Halep in the final. Collins to win, and Paul saying good pick Sasnovich. Well, I haven't gone through any dark horses in this one. I know they're both quite small events. I think I'm probably going to leave that one for this event. There's a lot of missing people on there, but you know my winners now. Make sure you enter the especially the women's bracket straight away, because that one's going to be closing very, very soon. I think it closes at like 1 o'clock or 1:45 in the UK. So you've got an hour and 20 minutes to complete that one. Make sure you do it very, very soon. Right, well, I'll come away from that now, and I'll just say thanks for everyone who has joined us, and just make sure you get your brackets in, like the video, subscribe if you're new. I'm sure JG will be back with us for the Djokovic versus Medvedev final. Make sure you join us for that too. That one's going to be an exciting one. Can Medvedev retain his Paris Masters Championship, or will Djokovic win his first Masters of 2021? I'm just gonna leave it with that. Thanks everyone who joined. Sorry, it was just me on my own. JG, I'm sure, will be back with us very, very shortly. But for now, hit the like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.